You know, I haven't read a news piece in quite a long time. Frankly, I haven't been paying much attention to the news at all lately. My audience being mainly American and Trump is obviously going to be the nominee, we're just sort of relegated to watching this entire thing play out till November, and we're left with the media going completely insane. Like the starving, dumpster diving, looking for scraps of old political quips, desperately trying to find scraps they've pissed away into hollowed-out obscurity, which if you happen to not be insane, is thoroughly entertaining to watch. Oh my god, Trump is gonna be a dictator!
Stop! My penis can only get so erect.
Oh, if only. You know, I find the media's impotent cries both hilarious and amusingly out of touch. Hell, I'm not American, and even I know the most American pastime next to shooting is hating the government. And they're surprised the American people are aligning itself behind a man who not only hates government himself, but also has a personal vendetta and a score to settle against them. As if the media has had no part to play in fomenting such a feeling at all. Strangest dictator ever, mind you, one who wants to cull and destroy government. I don't know anyone sentient and sane outside of the regime who opposes this. You know something that does kind of worry me though, if only for entertainment purposes really, is this pathetic scramble to call anything they, the media, don't like as insert label X, like dictator for example. Not only does this run the risk of watering down the word, but it also can make people go, you know these people that I can't frickin' stand, they're screaming dictator at a figure that I kind of like. I wonder what previous dictators were up against as well. What allowed them to come to power? Maybe they weren't that bad. That kind of rule doesn't just come into being from nothing or for no reason, you know. With those mindless drones in the media bereft as to why people are favoring some kind of autocratic rule, maybe it's because the dictatorial figure is rather liked, and maybe it's because everyone else absolutely hates your guts. Might have something to do with that one. And if these people aren't huffing enough copium to knock out the population of Cambodia, you'll have figures like Pacman, one of the most despicable liars you could ever come across, who engages in level of gaslighting so brazenly, I think you could probably make a compelling case he belongs in prison.
David, why are you acting like the economy is so booming and good?
Because I look at the data. This is not a show about my opinion. My opinion is irrelevant.
Yeah, you can say that again.
I'm looking at the data, and that's why I say the economy is good.
Yeah, cherry-picked.
The economy is absolute trash.
Oh.
There are no jobs.
Oh. We actually have record low unemployment.
Yeah, David, that's really easy to fudge when you discount people who are no longer looking for work and have actively left the workforce. Also look at labor force participation rates.
Everything is so freaking expensive.
Inflation was 0 in October, 0.1 in November, and year-over-year inflation is down to 3.1%.
It's a little higher than that. Actually, it's still higher than at any point during the Trump presidency, and that includes during the coup. Are things more expensive? Are people paying more for things? Is the purchasing power of the population reduced? Yes, David, you daft git. So your economy is doing great propaganda kinda sucks when I can debunk it all in under 15 seconds.
Interest rates are through the roof.
Interest rates are down 2 points and coming down further.
Kids can't even buy a house.
Well, okay. Kids can't even buy a house. I don't know what age you're thinking of. That part may be true.
What would you be doing if you weren't doing YouTube, man?
I'd probably be working in finance, to be honest. I was all set to go into finance, and then they pulled me into podcasting.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
That was so terrible, I think you gave me cancer.
No, I would almost certainly be working in finance, yeah.
I mean, you have to sit there and talk crap about Trump every single day to put food on your table, man.
I don't have to. I choose to, sir, and that's a big difference.
And as pointed out in the podcast, that's a lie. You just said not 20 frickin' seconds ago you were all set to go into finance and they pulled you into podcasting. Who is this mysterious they, we wonder? It's not his existence that bothers me, it's that his lies suck so bad anyone with a 3-digit IQ could obliterate his positions into smithereens. But what made me read out this dribble sketched out by The Atlantic? I just realized it says Atlantia at the top. How did I not see that? I looked at this and went, yeah, there is no way in hell this is real. And yeah, it's not, but here's the real one. The ruin that a Trump presidency could mean. Ah, yes, destruction leads to a very rough road, but it also breeds creation. As GOP leaders get in line, the outlook for democracy looks grim in Ukraine and even in America.
Oh, God, I hope so.
Good Lord, you dopes in the media really need to read up on politics and preferably shut the hell up about it in general because you really do suck at your jobs. But democracy, as Leiden said, answers the question, who should rule? Well, there's nothing about democracy that says how the politicians should rule. As he said, it's only the frame. There's nothing in democracy that says the people can't choose a dictatorial-like figure. I know Americans think, oh, the Constitution and all of that rubbish. The US Constitution, much like any other form of government, means absolutely bugger all without the backing of the military. If there is no force willing to impose itself, you're kind of screwed. But the part here that I find so bizarre is this bit here, speaking about the old Republican apparatus being sort of held hostage by Trump. Soon after Rish's endorsement, Senator Marco Rubio followed. Unlike Rish, whose outward appearance is all business, unemotional, Rubio made it clear that he personally detests Trump. In 2016, Rubio called Trump a con man, an embarrassment, a friend of dictators, and a threat to allies, and the most vulgar person ever to aspire to the presidency. Yet now Rubio praises Trump as a candidate who will defy special interests and accomplish domestic reforms, praise that would have forced a hollow laugh or pain grimace from Rubio in 2016. Now, what I find so bizarre about this, because this kind of reminds me of the Democratic critique of earlier and why I hate this apparatus, because the only thing that people focus on is the incentive structure of this godforsaken realm, never about what is actually objectively better. There is this vibe in politics, presumably the same one responsible for why everyone hates politicians as being nothing but lying snakes who just crave power, who will do anything to save their own necks. They are loyal to their wallets and nothing more. What a great system of government we have in the West. But of course, Rubio was going to call him that. They were competing against each other for the nomination. Duh, welcome to Politics 101 over here. 2016, Rubio had no idea what Trump was going to do once he was in office, so of course he's going to say that. If he held that same position now, well, he'd not only look like an idiot, objectively, but it would also look really bad for him politically. If his job is supposed to represent the will of the people, and his constituents approve of Trump, it would naturally behoove him to say, yes, Trump should get my endorsement for reasons X, Y, and Z. That is how the system is supposed to function. They're not always mutually exclusive, you know, they can align. The incentive structure of this whole system just overhauls this, though, and along with the typical reputation that politicians manage to cultivate, immediately the concept of authenticity goes out the frickin' window, only to be replaced by raw cynicism. But really, it's just like sparring with someone, and they proved a worthy adversary. If someone wants to attack you, you'd want the person you sparred with previously now in your corner because you know their fighting prowess. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm well aware it's never this cut and dry. You have people like Kamala Harris, and I happen to agree with Newt Gingrich and Coach Red Pill. She is objectively a stupid individual who kind of throws a monkey wrench into this whole affair. Oh, and speaking of that, it is funny how they will criticize Rubio for a move that is good for him both politically and objectively good for the American population, but when it comes to Kamala Harris, who chose the VP position solely for her own political interests, no matter how much it clowns her demographic, no one said a word. I mean, Colbert pointed out that she hit Biden pretty heavily during those debates. A whole shtick of laughing like a hyena going, "Hey, with the pay," doesn't really come off as genuine, especially since she was just a diversity pick. And I don't mean just in the political arena, more so in the diversity of options, seeing as she was very publicly having an affair with the married former San Francisco mayor Willie Brown. Then again, nothing about her is genuine. It's very difficult to be taken seriously when your entire political angle was built with your eyes facing the ceiling. Cheers for watching, and once again, I apologize for nothing.